Live. Oh, it's fucking cold again. It is fucking cold again, dude. It really is. It's snowing here. Is it snowing
Oh,
there? Did it ever
it is
stop
not
snowing?
snowing here. No, it stopped snowing. It's been cold, but it hasn't been snowing. But it's not too bad out right now. Oh, I think it was high 30s today.
High 30s. Okay, that's about what it was here. High 30s.
Nope, nope, 43.
It was warmer there than it was here.
41 actually. 41.
Yeah.
We had a high of 43 today.
I think the high was like 36 or 37. Oh, dude, this is stupid. Isn't like isn't the pinnacle of well, not say the pinnacle, isn't like the landmark of spring, like daylight saving time. Isn't that a thing?
Well, it's March 21st or 3rd. 21st or 23rd? I don't remember now.
Oh, we're basing it off of like the equinox. Is that what it
Calendars,
is?
the calendar spring or whatever.
Right. So we have spring break a week before that. Actually, quite a few days, right? Spring break is this week
Is it?
normally. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't go to college anymore or
Uh,
chase college tail. So
yeah. And we have daylight saving time. Actually, it depends. But spring break is this week. It was
what
started
the
for.
fuck is it? The day they need to get rid of daylight savings time and just be
It's
like,
it's
this is
singular.
the fucking time.
It's singular. It's daylight saving time. If you care about nuances, but
I don't. I just want them to get rid of it.
okay. So they get rid of daylight saving time, and then what is the time right now?
If it wasn't daylight, it would
Well,
be 5:30 or 5:24.
see, I like daylight saving time as in I want it to be the party that never stops. I want to spring forward and I want to leave it there. That is the new time. Like I hate the fall back. Okay, fall back is when we get hours sleep. Yeah, 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 whatever. I hate fall back because that's when it gets darker so much sooner. That's just annoying to me. Like having to someone that gets up in the morning and does the physical training and works all day and shit, like that's terrible. Like I think you spring forward and you just leave it there, and whatever it is whatever it is. That's my feeling.
If we did that, we'd have to get like Canada on board, Canada and Mexico on board, wouldn't we?
No.
Wouldn't that be just changing the whole time zones or just saying, fuck it, this is what we're doing for time?
Oh, oh, okay, yeah. I guess you would, but
Or why not just say, fuck it? Just adjust the working hours and leave time as it is and say, okay, the market now opens at 10 a.m. Eastern and closes at 5 p.m. Eastern, and everything just shifts forward an hour.
so you want everybody? Okay, okay.
No, it's the same thing as daylight saving time. Is just instead of changing the clocks, we just change the market hours, which is really what kind of drives everything.
hmm Well, but the market
Six to
opens.
6 to 1, 6 to 1 Pacific, so 9 to 4 Eastern. So make it 10 to 5 Eastern.
Does the market open at 9? I thought it opened at 8. But
I think it's 9 because I believe the market opens at 6 a.m. on the West Coast.
okay. Well, we'll just assume you're right. Um, so just there,
Well, the like New York Stock Exchange market.
right, Dow Jones. I know what you're talking about. NYSE, Dow,
Oh
Nasdaq.
no,
Yeah.
9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay. See, that's a bullshit, and that's for another day. But that's not on you. But any rate,
What's bullshit though?
the 9:30.
What?
Have you traded stocks before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit, I used to day trade before all the crazy regulations.
hmm
So like 20, well, more than 20 years ago,
Yeah. So
back in the 90s.
was I gonna say? It's just
Then I worked for E Trade and had to stop.
it's just stupid that there is like the time that the market opens, but then if you have like a certain amount of capital, you can trade before the market opens. Like
Well, there, I mean, anybody, pretty much anybody, any brokerage firm will do after hours trading. It's just regulated differently, and prices are
not everybody,
reported differently.
not everybody can do it though. So example,
Uh, Even like through those little shitty apps like Robinhood and
mhm,
Webull, you can do after hours trading.
you do, but you have to have like like and the apps are tied to the regulations. So you have to have how day trading is. You know what the regulation on day trading is. It's like
And
you
there's something now that you can only make three in out trades or something like that in the
well
span of
before you're considered a day trader, right? By legal
right.
precedents. But in order to day trade, you can day trade. You just have to have $25,000 in cash sitting in a bank account.
The brokerage account, not just sitting in the bank account.
Whatever. Yes. So for you to do all the day trades you want, which you can do, you just got to have $25,000. No big deal. No, it's not like getting a medallion, right? It's not like getting a license.
I think a big part of that is because like even when I was at E Trade, so early 2000s, and like they had everybody was getting into trading and things like that. And you get a whole bunch of people starting into day trading, not knowing what the fuck they were doing, investing their life savings in something, and then fucking up. And then
Mm,
the issue is people opening up margin accounts and things like that more than day trading, but they would open these margin accounts and fuck themselves with it, you
good.
know,
Good.
because they overextend and then it dips a dollar, so they got their margin limit decreases, so they got to start selling off shit. Well, now they're selling at a loss, and if it's a big decline, they end up liquidating the entire account to pay off the loss and end up owing money.
Good. Things that hurt teach. What you're asking for is more government regulation, which you should be totally against, despite how.
No, not more government regulation. Get rid of all of that shit,
Mhm,
and I'd be fine with it because yeah, don't do it if you don't got the money to lose.
mhm.
But if they're going to have regulations, instead of regulating day trading, take a closer look at how they offer margin accounts.
Take a closer look at short selling. Like I think that should be criminal. I think short selling should be criminal. Let's pause and identify our show. I'm Jake.
What show?
This show,
I'm Drake.
and this is Jake and Drake show. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
All nine of you.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So margin accounts. Continue.
No, just the fact that the margin accounts is what fucks people more than the day trading did. I never fucked with margin accounts because I understood them, and I understood that yes, it can give you leverage to make really big money. However, it can also really fuck you. So I never really fucked with margin accounts. I mean, my current account is approved for margin. Um, I just don't fucking do it because if I take a loss one day, I don't want shit getting sold off.
Mm. They, so you take a loss. Like, how soon do you have to provide the money? It's like if you owe.
Pretty fucking quickly. I ended up when I was at E Trade, I ended up in the debt and recovery, and the market took a big dip, and we ended up clawing back like $3 million in a matter of a week.
So like, here's the thing. This is what I'm saying. Like, when you let's say you're playing let's just say you're playing the normal stock game, and then you make some money, you just have a regular account, and then you want to sell that stock at a gain. It still takes like 5 business days to clear, right? There's some amount of time between that stock
Oh,
price, like
like settle? You mean settlement?
yeah, whatever the term is. But
There was I don't I mean, dude, it's been over 20 years now since I've worked in that field. Um, it does take a few days for the transaction to settle. However, it is in most accounts that is credited, the cash is credited to your account for availability. It's just if you wanted to cash out, if you wanted to take cash, like sell the stocks and cut yourself a $25,000 check, it would take, they have to wait till, for the settlement date, and then you could withdraw the cash.
So the way that they work that, it's like takes a while. But the way they work the other shit, it's like fuck you, pay me like right away,
Well,
right?
because they had a margin call, and by law they're required to have X amount for this, for the margin accounts and things like that. And now they're in violation.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have, if I'm basically like, if the margin accounts, if I have $10,000 in the account, I buy $20,000 of a stock, which is basically putting, putting my $10,000 of stock up for collateral.
Okay.
And then if the stock goes up, hey, that's great because I've got 20, my $10,000 is effectively $20,000 when I'm buying it. But if the stock goes down and I now have $18,000 worth of the stock, I am below that threshold, and I got to either send in money to make up for that because I've only got $9,000 against $10,000 borrowed. I got to send in that extra grand, or sell stocks. And the problem is people would tend to like not think about that. They'll think, oh, I'll just wait until it goes back up. No, motherfucker, you gotta, this is a margin call. You gotta put money in to maintain that account, or shit gets sold off, and then it gets sold off at a loss, and you lose bigger money that way.
Yeah, but you can write those losses off at the end of a tax year, right? When
Oh
you
yeah.
file your taxes, right? But
Right, but when the people do it and don't have knowledge of how the
yeah.
markets work and whatnot at all, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a professional. I would not give any, none of this should be construed as advice, financial or otherwise. Fuck, you shouldn't be listening to us if you need advice, man. Go to a shrink, not us. Um, but yeah, it's if they get these stars in their eyes, or they watch that late night infomercial about make money in the stock market, buy my program, and start trading penny stocks or whatever, that's fine. Do that. But don't ever fuck around with money you can't afford to lose.
Exactly. That's a pretty true statement.
Or if you're going to invest, use it for like a retirement account, like do a self-directed retirement account, things like that. Put it in long-term growth. And the reality is, talk to a professional. They can look at your situation, you know, figure out, okay, you're planning on retiring in 20 years, then you can put it into this sort of stuff. Oh, well, if you've got only $100,000, but want to retire in 5 years, and you need to go more aggressively. So there's lots of things. But if you took my advice, which you're a dumbass if you do, and this is not to be construed as legal advice or financial advice, just buy gold.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah.
Gold hit its all-time high this past week too. Like got up to, I think, 20, was it?
I wouldn't know.
I want to say it hit 2070 briefly.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't keep up with that. I don't even have a place to live. So gold is the furthest thing from my mind.
Let's see here. I think it's just a close price, but 2045 close on the 8th.
What's the price at silver? I know silver, for some reason, silver was low, and people were saying that silver's a little bit more affordable than gold.
Silver's currently at 25.91 an ounce. The problem with silver is, um, if you're actually collecting the tangible material, you need a lot more of it, and it's heavy.
Hmm.
What do they say? Ounces equal pounds. So think about, whenever you use like, oh, I'm just going to get, it's just one more ounce of silver. Well, that one more ounce adds up. Buy gold, which is 1986.30 an ounce currently. That's what, for, it's a lot of silver. For you get one little single ounce of gold versus a whole bunch of silver you got to fucking lug around.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like, so for example, let's say
But
we
that's
buy.
also, I was going to say, that's also why a lot of the smaller coins are hard to come by now because people don't have enough money to invest in full ounces of gold, so they have to get smaller coins.
Mhm.
Like the shop I went to this last week, they were completely out of the dos pesos, which are little tiny, uh, I think, couple gram coins. They're 0.0482 ounces.
Um,
So instead, I picked up a couple of francs, 20 franc pieces, which are 0.1867 ounces.
yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me, to be honest, I don't know. I think like the long term, like what you could do, you could just sit there and you could buy silver, right? And then once you have enough silver to afford a gold, you could trade in your silver for a gold. Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean,
Well, yes and no. I mean, yes, you can do that. However, there's still a premium when every
yeah,
time you make the transaction,
yeah. There's a transaction cost. Yeah, I get that. Um,
and it depends on what you're buying. I mean, some items have higher premiums, like Krugerrands or uh, like the maple leaves and stuff like that. Um, some, like collectible, what you call it, like the Liberty 20s or the St. Gauding $20 coins from the early 1900s.
okay.
Those are an ounce each. That's almost an ounce each, and there's premiums to get those. So,
Hmm.
and then there's even more if you get the coins graded, yada yada yada.
Oh, it's not automatic.
What do you mean? The grading?
Oh, I thought you said get the coins graded, like graded, as in
Graded, yeah.
like they have a piece of paper that says some guy certified that this is 0.999% pure.
No, no. Well, that would be just checking the gold content,
Hmm.
which most people have their own little machines at the um like the coin shows and the coin shops and stuff. There's a coin show next weekend actually, and we're gonna go check out. Um, but like grading, they put it in a plastic slab and they seal it in there, and they say this is a quality, uh, a quality 70, which is basically absolutely perfect. So you typically basically don't get those out of those essentially have to come straight from the mint into the go from the pressing into the little slabs. Uh, but like you get the Liberties for MS62 or 65s,
Hmm.
and there's gonna be a price difference between the 62 and the 65 because that's just the condition of the coin.
Okay, of
No, you had to pay for that service.
course you do. Everything has a cost.
It's like getting your Pokemon cards graded, dude.
Yeah. That's. I got you. I'm just saying. I mean, like, let's say you wanted to liquidate the shit anyway. let's say you wait until the dollar collapses and there's a digital currency or something, or we're all using the Chinese, what is it called, yuan or something, or whoever the next global superpower is, we're using their currency, and you want to change your gold into their reserve notes because you obviously will have a hard time walking into a store and buying a carton of eggs with a solid gold coin. Now you're gonna have to pay the transaction fee to change that gold into reserve
Well,
notes.
if everything collapses, so you're not talking about a full collapse.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking about a full collapse because, to some extent, I guess when you look at other countries, like you look at China and you look at us, um, the 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 way that their government works and the way our government works, it looks like you could almost say, when China fucks with their currency is one thing that's to be used as a trade advantage between the people they're trading with. And it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But like when you look at us being the global currency, the petrodollar, I guess is what you would say. You have these guys in Washington that are just printing up trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, and they're looking to print up more trillions and trillions of dollars. The theory is that they're going to do this to cause the dollar to crash, and everybody's going to convert to a digital dollar, right? A DD. And the whole idea between using an actual digital dollar and a virtual or a physical dollar is that a digital dollar, the government's going to be able to control your funds. So, right, if I don't like what you say, if you're not with my political party, then when I freeze your account, I really freeze your account, right?
Yeah, see what they're doing in Russia right now. They're cutting off Apple Pay and all those digital transaction services or digital payment systems,
Hmm.
and they want to turn us into that where we have to use those systems. Fuck no.
Oh my god! Ow, it's my bad. Fuck.
I mean, shit, dude. There's videos in Venezuela where their money's worthless now, but people are paying in gold, and they're like shaving off pieces of coin and weighing it and buying their goods.
That's I haven't seen that, but that do you see what I'm saying? So you would have to pay. So you have this coin that's graded and it's stuck in a plastic thing, right? Sealed, and it is worth this much money, and you paid to have it graded. Now you want to take that coin when the dollar collapses, and you essentially want to buy some bread and eggs, something you need, right? Um, you can go back to old times. I guess we're grading up coins, and we have a scale, and we're going off current market rates of what gold or silver or whatever's worth. And then you also have to, prove the purity. Like, how's the guy going to prove that you just didn't wrap this up? I mean, like we're talking like extreme case, extreme like at some point you would just it would be easier to convert your coin to the reserve currency, right? And so that
Shouldn't
being
be too hard.
said, what's that?
It's not hard to do that.
Mm, it's not, but then you're paying another premium for this guy behind the counter to give you what the coin is supposed to be worth. So you're just
Well, the reality is a coin is worth what someone's willing to pay for it.
also true.
So, like typically, if you got a graded coin, it's still going to be over the melt value of said coin. Like a, no, I'm looking at a spreadsheet now, like a 1907 Liberty 20, graded MS62. The melt value of that means the amount of gold in that
Hmm.
is 1,091 or $1,900. But the like sell value
Oh,
or the graded value is like because it's like
because
the
it's a
collector value.
yeah, 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 yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so I mean, if you're just getting into gold for or silver for or any precious metals just purely for the um, gold value or the precious metals value itself, get Krugerrands, you know get the bullion coins or whatever.
Hmm.
And those are typically just branded or
Right.
I know a lot of the like the little bullion slabs. They'll come with like the company certification with a serial number on it. You can check on their website that yeah, this is a legit uh, ingot from Credit Suisse or whatever.
Okay. So you're not just you buy that stuff and they ship it to you in the mail. You're not getting a small little bar. You're actually getting a minted coin. It just isn't a coin that's going to be a collector coin, or it's not anticipated.
It depends on what you buy. You can choose from all sorts of stuff. I mean, I'm looking at the AppMex site right now, and let's see. As far as gold, I could buy. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, Krugerrands, the South African coins, American Eagles, uh, different 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 minted coins, actual currency from countries, or you can buy bars and rounds.
Mhm. Oh, cool.
And they also have like the like gold foil notes and stuff like that that have like a tenth of a gram on it kind of thing or whatever.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. Yeah. Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I get angry. I
About
just,
what?
just get angry. Like I just fuck the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean fuck the way that the government works. Like this. Like if we had a responsible government run by smart and responsible people, this wouldn't be a problem. None of this would be a problem. Ugh. But as homeboy from the Federalist Papers said, it said, the Constitution essentially only works when you have a population of like moral, religious people. Essentially, put a constitution like ours in a country like Venezuela or and maybe one of those war torn African countries. They don't mean shit. Like it's a gentleman's document where it's like a written version of the bro code, the bro code, like the unspoken rules. Like if we go to the bar and you talk to a woman first before I talk to her, then I'm not going to talk to her because you talked to her first. Or, what are other bro code rules? Like, we don't talk about what we do if we went on vacation or, things that you shouldn't have to say because it should be understood. But, yeah, it's just Federal Reserve. Oh, it was a great idea. Let's turn our let's turn our currency into a fiat currency. That'll be a great idea. Nothing will go wrong there. We can. But yeah, all right, cool. Well, thank you for enlightening me. So, what else is going on in the world of Darian before I get into myself?
Oh, we could talk about yourself.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about.
Unless you want to talk about my balls.
I thought we were waiting to talk about your balls. We were going to talk about everything except your balls, and then we are going to talk about your balls later. Surprise everybody that was watching. What do you
Oh,
want?
so what's up?
All right. Well, shit. So I tore my hamstring Monday. That was fun.
How the fuck do you do that?
It was a perfect storm. I didn't sleep that many hours Sunday night. Not your fault. I didn't drink a lot of water prior to physical exercise, and then I didn't stretch, or I should say, I didn't stretch that well. So we went on like a 2 mile run, and I couldn't exactly say what was wrong with me, but about 1 3/4 into the run, I just stopped running. I was just like, dude, I'm just not feeling it. I'm tired. I'm dehydrated. So we get to the track, and then we start doing these. They're called Spartan sprints. So my boss, my first sergeant, they take off sprinting, so I sprint, and the goal is just to like whatever you have left in the tank is just to get rid of it. It's you do that in football, you do it in basketball. all the organized sports. And basically, we were on the second sprint, and the first sergeant was talking shit, so I was talking shit back. So I said, "All right, I'm gonna fucking put this guy under." And he's a broken man. Like that guy just he's a when I say this, like it is he's about 40, 41. He's like in the 41 to 39 age range. I haven't asked him, but that's where his age range is. And he is a beast in every sense of the term. I don't mean physically. He just the dude is always giving 110. I didn't know that was possible. Like I think he's on drugs. I think I should piss test him. Like he's on something. That guy is micromanaging, you know, c- just like I could do it, but I could not do it day in and day out, 365 fucking days a year. Like I would get burnt out. I would get burnt out probably halfway through the year. Like just the amount of shit, like meetings, phone calls, emails, taskings, appointments, this, and then getting up and then doing PT, and then getting up and doing PT, and getting up and doing PT, and he does it. And so sometimes he comes to PT and he's just a lame duck. He is limping, but we know why. I think he has like two bum knees too. This guy's talking shit. I'm already like I'm pissed. My mindset. I'm just fucking angry. I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking dehydrated. And all we seem to do for PT is run. Okay. And yeah, I don't know if you remember. It was like about maybe 2 months ago. We were talking about how the new PT is focused around muscular strength versus previously it was focused on muscular endurance, right? So you would have to basically do 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and do a 2 mile run. That was your physical evaluation. That was the measure of whether or not physically you were able to be a soldier. Somebody put it in doctrine. You got to pass, depending on your age, how many sit-ups, push-ups, 2 mile. Well, now they changed it. It hasn't gone official yet, but they changed it to where there's a lot more strength. There's a deadlift in there. There's like some leg lifts in there. There's some funky push-ups. There's a ball throw. Some of that is based on like how well you can just do stuff more than your body weight. Okay, not terribly hard, but the point is when you're dealing with soldiers, you need to have the how whatever the training is, whatever the end goal is. Like if our goal is to do this type of training, and this type of training is to be able to do a functions check on a 50 cal, mount a 50 cal, put a terrain and elevation, tripod on that motherfucker and operate it. Like that's how you train. You train for it. You train for it. So there's like some muscle memory, and then you execute it. And if they don't get it, you retrain, and then you execute, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing with the physical training, right? The physical training should mirror what you're testing them on. So we're moving away from this old school physical training test to the new school physical training test, which is the Army Combat Fitness Test. But the training isn't reflecting that. We are still doing like body weight assisted shit. And my thing is like, dude, we need to get the dumbbells or the kettlebells. We need to get the ball out here. We need to be doing shit to train ourselves to do the shit we need to do to pass, but we're not. So I'm mad at that. Normally, if I had enough sleep and I wasn't dehydrated, I wouldn't be mad. I'd just be like, whatever. I know at the end of the day, I know me. I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lift. That's what I'm going to do. And I'll be ready for this. They may not be, but the PT program, the getting up in the morning, that's not my prerogative because I don't do that. I'm just mad because I'm wasting my time. And it's more aggravated by the fact that I didn't sleep enough. So we're getting ready to do the second sprint. He's talking shit, riling us up. And I was like, all right, old man, I'll put you. And I take off and I see him catching. Like I see him like, and the thing is, like I could blow him out of the water. I could, because like I'm a sprinter. I guess I'm not really a sprinter, but if I had to say, are you a long distance runner or a short distance? I'm a short distance runner. So I fucking put it into the next gear, and as I do that, I hear a pop and I feel a tear, and I just fucking buckle over on the track. Like ah. You know, everybody thinks it's my knee. I'm like, no, it's not my knee. That was a hamstring. How bad it was, I don't know. I just had the MRI done Thursday night, Friday morning kind of thing. I had an X-ray done too to make sure there wasn't like a bone shear from like the muscle getting torn off the bone or something like that. But I had to drive all the way down to Walter Reed to get it done, which it's a bit of a drive. It wasn't too bad because it was late at night,
They
early
made
in
you
the
drive
morning.
yourself?
Yeah, well, it's first of all, it was my left leg, okay, and I don't have a clutch. And second of all, it's not completely torn. I That leg itself, that leg is my left leg, which I had left ACL reconstructive surgery. So when they did the surgery, they took out part of my hamstring to make an ACL. So I think it's just a scar tissue, really. So the scar tissue that formed to make a hamstring back there, or what have you, that's probably torn a little bit. But I got to go back tomorrow about noon and talk to the osteo guy and find out what's going on. See if I need surgery. Find out if there's some kind of rehab. But that happened on Monday of last week. Um, it was pretty bad the first 3 days. I had a cane, but I don't have a cane. Like I still have the cane. I just don't use it. It's not terrible. Like maybe I just take care of myself. Wasn't that terrible, or maybe I'm not a bitch. But I didn't need a cane after the third day. Like I didn't even need a cane. Like I was walking, like hobbling to my truck, and the doctor gave me a cane. He's like, "Here you go, use this. Let me show you how to use a cane." So I had a cane for a little bit, and then now I just, you know, now I'm fine. I'm fine until I go see if I need surgery or something. But so that happened. I am also supposed to close on my house on the 16th. So the 16th of this week at 9:30, I'm going to be signing my life away to a mortgage in this area in this great housing market where everything is overinflated. Not to mention the incurrence, the fiat currency. Um, that should be exciting. I do have hopes though. I'm trying to remain optimistic. Optimism is that this area where I live is what they call the DMV, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So I think even during the housing crisis of 2008, I think properties were still moving over here because there's just demand for people that work for the fucking government. That entity that is always growing big, full of fat. So I shouldn't have a problem. I hope I don't have a problem selling it in a few years. So that's going on. Getting a house, moving in. I'll be taking some vacation time to go fly down to Texas and bring my family up. And uh, but yeah, that's the next thing that's happening because it just kind of depends on what happens with this hamstring. If I got to get surgery, that might complicate things a little bit. But when I had my ACL surgery, which is a lot more significant than a hamstring surgery, I was walking not terribly well, but I was walking within a week, and then you know, so I should be fine, really. Um, this is my last hotel. Hopefully, shitty internet. Shitty people living here, as in like I don't think they're shitty. It's just a lot of them look like users or ex-users, and they seem to live here, And I live on the fourth floor. I couldn't get a first floor, so that sucked because I had to hobble down there, and so I got to pack up my computer and do laundry. And I did laundry. There's no laundry room here for the first time. I did laundry at a public laundromat, and I won't say that's scary. I'm just saying that was an experience.
It's just gross.
I forgot to bring my piece, so I'm sitting there in the shady. Like I went to the nice neighborhood, and it's like, yeah, we're remodeling this laundromat. Go to this laundromat. Like, so I look at the next closest laundromat, and it's in the hood. And I'm like, well, I need to wash my clothes. If I die over washing clothes, I guess it was meant to be, you know. I'm rolling the dice, but hopefully not that many times. Um, so tomorrow I will do laundry for the last time in a laundromat, hopefully. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean my son's birthday is kind of around the corner. Um, his birthday's at the end of May, and people are like, "Well, it's not around the corner." It's like, yeah, but it's his first birthday, right? Every baby first is a big deal. First word, first steps, first birthday, right? You're supposed to give them like a little mini cake, and they're supposed to like get their hands in it and be all cute and messy, right? I don't know. So I got to plan that out because that's going to involve me flying a family back to Texas to share that with people that want to see it. So it's going to require some planning and budgeting.
Wait, say that again. Your party's in Texas.
Well, if I did the baby's first birthday party in Maryland, it's just going to be me, the woman, and the baby. That's it.
Well, what the fuck? So I got to cancel my plane tickets now. You're a cocksucker.
Well, I don't even know why you made plane tickets, like, because I didn't even give you my
You told me I better
address.
be there.
I told you better be there, as in, like, I was trolling you about your wedding, and I thought I told you it was gonna be. Maybe I didn't. Well, yeah, it makes sense to.
No, because I think you even suggested Tony was going to be there. So I figured it's going
No,
to be out there.
no. Tony is vacationing in like right up the road from me in July. So in July, Tony's bringing his family up, and they're going to some water park. So like wherever I am on the map, I like northwest of me. There's some city, I forget what it's called. They're going to some water park there, and like the week after the 4th of July. That's when they're coming up here. So his kids and his wife will be here. That's when they'll be here. They're not coming up here for my kid's first birthday party. I'm not even related to the guy. We're good friends, but I didn't even go to his any of his kids. Like I didn't go to Adam's, his youngest boy or his youngest girl's birthday party. I didn't do that. But yeah. So I guess that's pretty much what's going on with me. I'm trying to think. I'm losing one of my guys. I have two soldiers. I have a sergeant and I have a corporal. And I'm losing both of them really soon. Well, I'm losing the sergeant really soon, so I'm trying to do a lot of stuff for him to recognize his service in general and his help with me transitioning. Wink, wink. That was supposed to be a joke, but I'm also trying to get someone to fill him. And apparently the first sergeant, my boss recognizes how badass I'm. Like, I go talk to him. He's like, "Man, you were just." And I think you know what it is. This is really what I think it is. For one, when you actually have people that are your subordinates, at least me, it makes me try harder at my job. So if it's just me, like it was my last unit was just me and a bunch of people the same rank. Like they're grown ass adults and blah 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 blah. They take care of themselves. I take care of myself. Like if you're a friend of mine, maybe I throw some advice your way, but like I'm not responsible for them. Now I'm responsible for these people, like their well being, their accountability, all that stuff. So it's a little different. And I guess the other factor is my first sergeant is a fucking goat. I'm telling you, that guy is on crack. He's on meth. He's on crack. That dude is holy cow. So that makes me try harder because that's the least I could do. In fact, like the guy told me when I injured myself, he's like, "Don't bother even coming into PT." I said, "Okay." I didn't say anything. Then the next day, I hobbled into PT. He's like, "What are you doing here? I told you not to come." I was like, "I can show up." It's like I can show up. I may not be able to exercise, but I can still show up because I know that my soldiers are thinking the same thing I'm thinking because I'm a human being. Like, it's cold as fuck out here. This is stupid. We're not even, like when we do PT outside, there's a bunch of Canadian geese here, and they shit everywhere, everywhere.
Deuces.
Fine,
Nothing. Sorry.
Canadian gooses, and they shit everywhere. So we are in the middle of a 400-meter track with geese shit everywhere, and some of the exercise require us to get on the ground. Dude, I don't have a washing machine. So I have to like sweep geese shit off of my jacket and wash it like every couple. Like if you know what I mean, it is so annoying. Like it's just well, you wanted to be in the army. You think in the army you're gonna like yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that's what we do in the army. So yeah, I go out there for emotional support. I think the last time we did PT as a group, I actually managed to do about half the exercises. Because like I said, it's been a lot better since Monday. Monday and Tuesday were well, Tuesday was probably the worst. Now I just have a giant bruise under there. I still can't. I have a hard time bending my leg backwards. Right, that's the hamstring's basically the bicep of your leg. But it's manageable. I haven't taken any painkillers essentially since Monday. Monday I took 3 Motrins and I haven't taken anything since. So, but yeah, that's in a nutshell what's going on with me. I don't know if I'm gonna have surgery or not. I don't know what the rehab's gonna be. I'm gonna buy a house. I'm gonna go on vacation to drive a U-Haul 16, 17, 1800 miles up here. And then I'm gonna have my household goods moved in this week too. Electricity turned on, gas, water, all that's gonna be turned on. Internet, all that's gonna be turned on. So hopefully I have the house staged for when my family shows up and they really have, you know, not a lot of anything to do except move in and sleep in their own beds and, stuff like that. But yeah, what's going on? What's going on with you, sir?
Yeah, that's about it. A little this and that, unless we're switching topics completely. And you want to talk about my balls?
Is our VIP coming in?
Nope, not
No.
today. We'll
Damn.
see about next week.
Well, next week is when. Okay. All right. So all right. So I guess we'll talk about your balls without this VIP. So go ahead, speak away.
Oh, they hurt. So I got the vasectomy done this past week,
Hmm.
and they're still pretty fucking tender. I've learned just how much I bang my nuts on shit just all day in just a normal course of walking around or leaning over the kitchen counter to grab something or leaning over the bathroom counter to look, closer at my teeth when I'm trying to floss or whatever. So, yeah. Speaking of flossing, did I tell you 48 years old, no fucking cavities. Still no fucking cavities.
No, you didn't tell me that. Congratulations.
But yeah, it was I was like anxious as shit going into it and just pretty much panicking. But the nurse was pretty cool and was like, just signal me and I'll turn up the nitrous. So I pretty much like locked eyes on her the whole time and just like pointing up in the air. So
Was your wife there?
nope,
Just
they
you?
wouldn't let her in the room. Yeah,
I mean, but she was there. Like,
she was outside in the
so it's,
waiting room.
so it's outpatient. You got the shit done and then you were home. You didn't stay in a
Yep,
hospital for a day to wait for complications or anything.
no common procedure. I
Mm.
was going to have it done actually at my GP's office, but I was kind of too panicking. Like, yeah, you probably should go to the urologist where they can gas you. So went to the urologist and they gassed me.
And you're doing this because you have no self control. Tell the audience that. I want you to tell them right now. Don't lie. You have no
But no
self
self
control.
control. What
You have no self control.
for putting in my wife, or what are you talking about?
I guess you could throw that one in there. I was actually having this discussion with someone. So you're like the fourth person in the past like 365 days I've known that's gotten one. And the first guy, I was just kind of like, dude, don't do that. Like, there's condoms, there's birth control, there's this, there's this. I was like, dude, and he was. I want to say he was like 33, 35. So to me, that's kind of young to be having a vasectomy. And he only has 2 kids. You know, like,
Only.
I'm just saying, one of the kids he does not have custody over. So he basically lives at home with one kid. One, I think she is 7 months old, I think. But he was just like, yeah, dog, I'm done. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, dude, for real? Is this it? And then the other guy, like the second guy, I don't know personally. I just heard that he got it done. Oh, no, 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 no. Five. Five. There was another guy. Yeah. Everybody's getting a vasectomy, but that I'd have to stretch the calendar back like 18 months instead of 12. So everybody's getting a vasectomy. It's like the new thing to do. And it's like, dude, birth control for one, right? You could wear a
Here's
condom.
the thing, though. Yeah, here's the thing. I mean, yeah, sure, I could use condoms with my wife, or um,
She could
put
take
her
a pill.
on the pill that made her nuts, or have her get another IUD, which I believe caused her ovarian cyst that ultimately necessitated the removal of an ovary. So yeah, sure, I could do all that, or I could even ask her to get her tubes tied, which is a much more invasive procedure. Or I could go in there for a simple, quick, in office procedure, in and out, and I mean, I was in and out in under an hour.
No, I get that.
And
I get that. I'm just saying there are other options, right? The other option is
yeah, there are
obviously,
other options. The other options are not as good of options.
well, I didn't even give you the best option, right? I didn't give you the best. I was saving the best for last, right? The
She
best.
swallows the butthole. What?
No, but I guess those are options too. Those are your options, not mine. They didn't even cross my mind. But
You know you like it in the ass, dude.
well, you can't even
Don't try to front in front of the
if
guys right now.
if we're talking
You know
about
you're
you
my
and me, I
bitch.
can't get pregnant anyway. So it didn't matter where you put it. Like that's the cool part about, I guess, homosexuality is there's 100% chance of no pregnancy.
No,
But
no. What we got's no homo. You're just my love doll.
but that being said, right? Like what I did, I was dating this girl for a while, and I just kept track of her cycle. Now that's not 100%, but neither is contraceptives, and neither is a condom, and neither is the pull-out method. But I mean, it did work for like 9 months that we were dating in Korea, where it was just like, okay, your cycle starts here, it ends here, so your cycle is 5 days, and then this many days, and then this is when you're most fertile, and this is when you're least fertile, and it worked. It worked.
Did it ever fail?
Not when we observed it. That's a story for another day. There was a time where we didn't see each other for months, and then we saw each other. We didn't give a fuck about the cycle. We was fucking like rabbits, and then she got pregnant. So, but no, when we observed her cycle, it wasn't. There's no problems. Um, but I can also attest to that contraceptives aren't 100% either. I I had a I had gotten someone pregnant and they were on birth control and they just ended up having a miscarriage. So that happened too. Um, but yeah, I mean, you could observe the cycle. You could use the pull-out method. I mean, there's options. I give you shit because now essentially you have no balls. Like they're there, but they're not there. Yeah, you're still getting your test, whatever test you're getting, and but now I can give you shit because you're not really a man anymore. Just like I can give the other one, two guys that I know. One of them's getting it. I'm sorry. So 4 people got it done. One's getting it done, and the guy
No,
that's
they're still there and they still produce sperm. It's just the oh fuck, not the is it the vas deferens?
mhm,
The yeah, has been severed so that it won't make it out of
the urethra.
yeah. No, it won't make it to the urethra.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So
So
basically, when
they're
you
they're
you
still there and they're still really fucking tender.
yeah, when you ejaculate, you're just basically swallowing your own sperm.
It doesn't go anywhere. But apparently, I'm going to have like a raging case of blue balls in another day or two.
How long can you not have sex after that surgery?
Week.
That's it?
Yep.
That's it. A week.
Yep,
They
a
go in
week.
there and they rip your vas deferens off from your urethra, and it's a week.
No, they don't even go up that high. It's like severed in the sac.
I understand. I'm just being graphic, but all right. Yes, they detach your vas deferens from your vas deferens, if you want to be more specific. But a week. So when do you go? When do you go jack off in a cup to make sure you have no sperm count? When do you do that?
2 months, I think.
So what happens if you jack off in this
Eight
cup?
weeks.
What happens if you jack off in this cup and you have sperm?
Then I guess they got to do it again.
I guess like you didn't go through this with them. You weren't curious. You were just like, get it done, sir. There's some things we need. I don't care. Get it done.
Yep. I honestly, I did not want to talk to the doctor. He came in, he was like super friendly and like, that kind of like be your buddy kind of guy. Like, listen, man, just do what you need to do and gas me good. Because before all that stuff was going on, I was freaking the fuck out. Now, if I had to go in again, I'd still get the nitrous because, yeah. But,
So why were
but,
you freaking out?
just if you, dude, because it is not, there's not a 0% chance of something going wrong and me never being able to fuck again.
So you did listen to some of the briefs, or you're making this up?
No, that was research prior to everything, which is why I was fucking nervous going into my doctor's office when he was going to do it.
Okay, so we're gonna go over those courses of action again, and despite all of that shit that you have as an option, you still chose this. And then you freak out about the fact that there's all these side effects that could potentially happen. They could, right?
Not side effects, but possible complications.
Complications, thank you. Um, Complications. And that was still your course of action. And then you freak out about it.
Yeah, I don't want my wife to lose her only ovary. I don't want
I'm
her
not.
to
I wasn't
have to take
talking
birth
about
control
her.
pills
I was talking about you. You could wear a condom. You could
when I
observe the
fuck my
sex.
wife. Yeah, no,
Dude, I'm just saying, over freaking out about what could happen to you from surgery.
yep,
Okay.
that was the best course of action,
Okay. So did the procedure go well?
as far as I can tell. I mean, I was pretty high when the doctor left still. Um, but yeah,
Does it hurt to get a boner?
um, a little bit.
Hmm.
But it's not like it's just because the muscles in the area are pulling on the sac. It really is just the sac is sensitive.
So they opened you up on your taint, right?
No, not that far down, like in the sac.
Oh, they sliced open your balls.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay, cool.
tiny, tiny slice,
Yeah,
but
tiny balls, tiny slice.
well, my balls are bigger than yours, sir.
I got you. Got you. Good. So, like, okay, I have a lot of questions. I'm not interested, but I don't have like, I guess that familiarity with like those other guys. Like, oh, dude, tell me about your procedure. Like
I
those,
mean,
th-
if
they're all
I
those
went in.
all those guys are army guys too. So there's a little bit of pride involved in it. So, but like, no, like, how big is the slice? Like really, like,
Um,
is it like a centimeter, 2 centimeters?
oh God, you gotta make me look at my nuts right now.
You didn't
Um,
look at them after they were done? You haven't looked at them since? When was your
no,
it was Thursday, right? That's when your procedure
yeah,
was? Yeah. You haven't looked at
I
your
don't,
nuts since Thursday? What is
I
wrong
don't,
with
I don't make it a habit of looking at the underside of my nuts. And typically, I just, what I've been doing is like I've been wearing those special like pocket underwear, that have the special little pockets for your twig and berries,
Mhm.
and just keeping them nice and comfortable and trying not to. I'm still in the 3 days of don't do shit. So
Okay, so first of all, like, nobody says you look at your nuts every day, but if somebody was in there digging around for a procedure, like, dude, for fuck's sake, I know sometimes you take a shit and you look to see what your shit looks like. Like,
I'm not flexible enough to look at the underside of my nuts.
I thought you had big balls. You should be able to just like lift them up and look at them. They're fuck.
Oh, see, yeah, yeah, the lifting that's no bueno.
Oh, okay.
So just setting him into the cradle of the underwear
Hmm.
is still currently a little uncomfortable.
Hmm.
But it feels like I got kicked in the nuts.
Yeah, but that only lasts like an hour.
No.
I'm saying getting kicked in the nuts, that doesn't last
Oh,
days.
right, right. Well, it depends on how hard you get kicked in the nuts.
3, 4 days.
I've had it hurt about 3 days,
Oh,
and
okay.
which is about the time it takes for the pain and swelling stuff to wear off, and then I just got to be careful. So I mean, it is relatively a simple procedure. Like I said, I wouldn't be as anxious going into, if I had to get a follow up, I wouldn't be anxious going in and having him do it again, though I still would get the gas. But
Hmm.
yeah, the thing about nitrous though, it doesn't knock you out and it doesn't really relax you. I was like anxiously huffing it as quickly as I could. Um, but I could still feel everything he was doing. I mean, they did use local anesthetic, but I could still feel him working. And
Okay.
yeah,
But I mean, you feel that I mean, that's the shit they use when you get dental work. So you feel pressure, you feel them pushing on things. The pain receptors are inactive essentially. So yeah, that makes sense.
no, I mean, no, the pain receptors being inactive is due to the local anesthetic, not from the nitrous at all.
Oh
Nitrous
yeah,
does
yeah,
nothing for
yeah, yeah,
pain.
yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Okay, so are there any special pills you got to take? How is this
Nope.
interfering with your current shit? Your
I've take this whole week I'm taking off from gym and everything like that, all that stuff. My
just a
normal,
week.
just a week,
Hmm.
and then the following week, and I'm gonna obviously be careful. Like the first day, just lifting, my gallon water or tea jug out of the fridge was caused strain. Trying to I made a fresh batch of tea and was picking it up to move it in the fridge, and it felt like I was pulling on them. Just it's just the muscle how the muscles work and pull on things. So, but now, the next day it was fine for me to move the gallon jug, and today moving the gallon jug's no problem.
Hmm.
So give it a week, and then I'll go back to the gym and just, my trainer will be careful about what she has me lift or those types of exercises. And really, right now, it doesn't hurt at all if I'm not moving around or it walking is fine, except for the fact that my balls are so big and swollen that they like bang the sides of my thighs, and that's not comfortable. So I've kind of taken to crab walking around the house.
I would just think, like, because you told me that you use a cane. I would just think that and plus you said you're wearing special underwear. I take it that you're a person that normally doesn't wear boxer briefs anyway.
No, I usually wear boxer briefs,
Yeah, you know what I do with
but
my nuts are probably not as big as yours. I have very small balls. Uh, no, see what happens is I lift weights and my legs are so goddamn big that I don't have fucking twigs for legs. Therefore, my nuts are tucked nicely between my legs. But what I do is I like grab like my boxer briefs and like I kind of like instead of like wearing them straight like they're boxers, like I kind of like cuff them up. So it like cups my balls. So it makes like a nice little and it also depends on what your boxer briefs are made of too, like whether they're stretchy, durable long term, but I kind of like tuck my balls. I make a pocket for my balls with the underwear. And they sit like that most of the day unless the underwear crawl too far up my leg and then I have to pull them down. You don't do that with your special underwear?
I don't need to with the special underwear. Just drop them in the sack, and yeah,
Mm,
works great.
mm.
dude,
Um,
you really should try them out. They're
I have like 3 sets of boxer briefs that have pockets in them. Like I didn't even know it was a thing. Like I got them as I think a birthday gift. They're called like Shinesty or something. You ever heard of those?
I haven't heard of that brand.
Hold on. Let me pull them up for you.
I don't know. I got my wife got me a pair for Christmas with like a little thing of mistletoe on them, and and I loved them so much that she got me some the Hanes brand ones with the pockets, and they're great.
Although I do think these underwear are made in China, so I will caveat that. Like if you're so I didn't buy them for me. I did not buy them for me. All right, so take a look at this link. They have a lot of sexual undertones in them, because obviously your cock and balls are in there. Send it on Discord for you to look at.
Yep. Yeah, similar.
But like they actually, I'm trying to see.
Threat level midnight.
Wait, what?
No, the first one listed, the name
Oh,
of it is the threat level midnight, and that's an office reference.
yeah, yeah. So I have the Eagle ones.
I'm sure you do.
I didn't buy them. I did not fucking buy them. Okay, I say that again. And
You have
then
the
like,
camel ones too.
no, I have the Eagle ones. I have one that has a bunch of emojis on it, and like they're like all sexy emojis. So it's like the splashy water emoji. It's the fucking eggplant emoji. It's all those emojis, like the ones that have like all the sexual undertones. And there's one more pair I have. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but they call them ball hammocks because there's like a pocket built in there for you to like pull your nuts out between your legs and set them forward so they're not swinging between your legs. But I don't have that problem because I actually have pretty muscular legs, which is
And small nuts.
it's no the problem with having muscular legs, it just makes your dick look smaller. Like if you had like no muscles in your legs, you'd be like, oh man, you got a giant cock, you got a giant ball. But like if you lift weights, right, like the shit just looks smaller by contrast. It just does. But yeah, you pull it out from between your legs, and is that kind of what's going on with your special underwear?
Yeah, there's just the kind with the pockets. Just set them in a little pouch and keeps them pulled away from the body so they're kept cooler.
Mm-hmm. Mm, mm. Yeah. Well, congratulations on the new ball technology. Moving forward, though, I suggest that you buy these like this, and you just tuck them up in there. Maybe go
The
lift.
Shinesty ones.
No. Like they're made in China. I wouldn't buy anymore. I would buy.
I'm just gonna buy the Hanes one with a pouch, and
There you go. There you go.
they're probably made in China too. But you know,
Mm. Well, I guess that's what I'm going to do when I get out and retire. I'm going to start up an underwear company where it's made in the U.S. Oh, look, they have comfort cream. Scroll down. Happy Nuts Comfort Cream. Sweat defense and odor control lotion. Interesting. Wonder how it's going to taste if things get frisky. The caffeine, beast hydrating, and awakening conditioner. Okay, that's just shampoo. I was like, is that shampoo for your nuts? That's regular shampoo. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an underwear company that's made in the USA.
there you go.
And then I'm going to make women's underwear too because I know so much about it. But why not? Women want boxer briefs. They just don't need the pocket, right? That's all you do. You have women's briefs and men's briefs.
What if they got meaty labia? I'd give them a little pocket.
Yeah, but that shit is no matter how meaty it is, it's still like your cock and your balls come out of your body at like a degree angle. Like they're fucking labia. If we're looking at like leg, here's a leg. The shit comes out like this, whereas the cock and balls, the cock comes out like this, and the balls come out like this. So you can physically. That's, are you
Yeah,
fucking?
we can still have a little pouch for that. like
What do
two
you?
reinforced strips
s-
along the bottom.
So you have to build a taint pouch, is what you're telling me, into the underwear. Like that is ludicrous, sir. You know what? Oh, that's also brilliant. You know what you do? Oh, that's brilliant. You make the boxer briefs, and then you put like a little bit of extra fabric there, and then maybe you provide like kind of a pocket to where you could gently lay if you do like tampons. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I
You
like
wouldn't need a space for tampons; those go inside.
no.
But for
Oh,
a
pad,
pad,
pad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I see you have a lot of experience in that, so thank you. You will be vice president, or I will make you president of internal design.
sure.
Giggity. That's not a bad idea. That's genius. Yeah. Okay. So in a week you'll be fine, and then in 8 weeks you'll be jacking off in a cup. So okay, let's talk about that. So you actually have to masturbate in the office, right?
No, they sent me home a cup.
So no, they don't.
Yeah,
They send you home.
they sent a cup home.
Mm.
They said when I got a call in my head, when I'm gonna do the deed, and make sure that someone's gonna be there to receive it, and yeah, that's it. I think you got to bring it in within 8 hours of doing the deed or something.
So you jack it off, you put it in a fridge, and then you bring it in, or you put it in a freezer. What do you do? Like,
Yeah,
inquiring
just
minds.
leave it in the cup.
But
Bring it in within 8 hours.
you have to keep it cold though, right?
No, you take it in there within 8 hours and it's fine. That's it. Easy
Wow,
peasy.
wow. So the sperm are gonna live in that cup for 8 hours, without refrigeration.
Like it would in a woman's vagina.
So you're telling me, I mean, that seems a bit of a
Dude,
stretch.
how did you fuck you? Oh, you're in the army. Okay.
No. Like vagina's a little bit different, right? Dude, it's just in a cup. It's not in a tube. It's not in a vial. It's in a cup. Oh, like a piss cup? Okay, yeah, like a piss cup. But 8 hours? Like that shit don't sit in there for 8 hours. That shit's probably from nut to front butt. That shit's probably reached its goal in like a matter of like 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, small sperm.
It can live it can live in the vagina for I think up to 3 or 4 days.
All right, let's fact check this here. 5 days. Holy shit. Interesting. Okay, let's see. How long can sperm live outside the body? Outside the body, sperm can live for 15 to 30 minutes in the right conditions. In a hot tub or bath, sperm can only live for a few seconds to a few minutes. If sperm is frozen under the right conditions, it can live indefinitely. That's why we have sperm banks, right? So I guess they don't need the sperm to be alive. They just need it to not be
Be
fermenting.
fresh.
Be fermenting.
Yeah.
Just that's what I was saying. Like a vagina is different though. Like a vagina is like protects it from the elements. That's kind of where it's supposed to be. Um, oh, that's just weird. That's weird, right? Fucking biology. Just imagine being a sperm. That's crazy. You know what I want? You know what? Crazy, crazy thought. You know how they say no two snowflakes are the same? I wonder if there's like the same you could say with the sperm. Like, I wonder if you could physically take a sperm and then like try to take another sperm, or maybe take a sperm from another load or another batch or whatever you want to call it, and find like the exact same sperm with the exact same DNA sequences. I wonder if that's possible. Or like, what would they say? Like every time you ejaculate, it's like 5 million. Okay, now I gotta look this up. How many sperm in two teaspoons?
I'm really glad you have this obsessive
It's not.
obsessive
It's not obsessive.
and interest in a my
You
ejaculations.
can't call it obsessive if it's like a one time. After this discussion, after we're done, I am no longer thinking about this. I'm thinking about
Oh, you'll be thinking about it when I come visit you, big boy.
15 million sperm.
I'll give you 15 million to taste test.
15 million. Do you think any of those sperm? I mean, it's interesting, right? Because let's say you have kids. Let's say you have kids. Let's say you had more kids, and you have like let's say you had three more kids. You have three kids. Are any of those two kids going to look exactly alike? Now, part of that depends on your partner's eggs, right? But let's just say your partner spits out the same fucking eggs just to take away that uncertainty. What are the chances that your first kid and your third kid are exactly they're twins, but they're not twins by definition because they didn't come from, you know,
Well, you've seen siblings that look very close, even though they're different in age.
but they're not the same. Like there's always something. I've never seen siblings that were older and younger that were the exact same height, exact same hair color, exact same. And then again, yeah, that's because of the eggs. So it is possible. Yeah, yeah, maybe. Maybe every time you jack off, there's 15 million sperms in there. And maybe 2 million of those sperms have your dominant height gene, your dominant eye gene, your dominant hair gene, something. And then another 2 million have like your recessive eye gene and your recessive chin gene or something, right? Would that be reasonable, or do you think every single fucking thing, right? The Human Genome Project. Um, how many different genes or DNA things did we sequence?
Well, there's 46 chromosomes.
Hmm.
So I don't remember all that shit, dude. It's been so long since I've
Okay, so
been in college.
3 billion base pairs, which reside in the 23 pairs of chromosomes. Jesus Christ, dude. 3 billion. That's crazy. That's crazy. Right? And they're supposed to height, hair color, eye color, ears, lobed or unlobed, nose, chin, teeth, skin color. And then they got to mash up with another fucking 3 billion from the other side and fucking decide who wins that war. Okay, he's going to have your eyes, he's going to have my teeth or something, your dimples. And that's crazy. Yeah, there's got to be. I mean, that is such a. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a finite number, right? Like 3 billion, it's not infinite. So it is possible that you could have the same sperm. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, it's far out there, but you could have identical sperm. Mathematically. Yes. Cool. I'm glad we had this talk, and I'm done.
Mathematically, you have the same eggs.
No. Well, yes, yes, but no. But because like eggs, would like women start having periods when they're 10, and then they stop having them when they're like 45. So what's that, like 35 years times 12 months? So that's how many eggs they're gonna fucking have versus sperm. Sperm, you're talking about 15 million per fucking nut, bro. So you were constantly dice, 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 dice. You're men can basically reproduce up to like their like 60s, like their late 60s even. And you start having wet dreams when you're like 12 or something. I don't remember. Nocturnal emissions is what they used to call it. What the fuck is that? So yeah, I guess women could do the same thing. It's just that the percentage of that happening is significantly lower than if you're a male, right? I wonder why that is. I don't know. Maybe I'll get drunk and think about that. I've been sober for like 3 days. Just haven't been making my calories. I've been like over my calories, so I can't really have a drink. But all right, cool. I think I exhausted the nut topic there. Oh, so physical therapy is going to pick up next week.
Yep. Back to the usual routine a week from Monday.
Hmm. You excited?
I mean, I wouldn't say excited, but I did go to this place on the Wednesday before the day before the procedure, called Stretch Lab. But I'm not sure. I mean, they cost more than my massage therapist, and my massage therapist does the same kind of stretching and stuff, though not as deep, and I'm not, you know, getting into weird positions because, well, my balls and shit be flopping around, but um it was good, but not great. I don't think warrants like $90 a session.
90 bucks?
Yeah,
How long is a session?
an hour.
And what does this do for you again?
Basically, is basically they help you stretch, and so I don't think it's something that I'm getting. I don't think doing that regularly would be anything would be worth it because I mean I get stretching from massage therapy, I get stretching from yoga, so. But for
Okay.
someone who doesn't do that stuff, it's probably worth it.
And this isn't covered by insurance. This is out of pocket.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm no, sorry. Not worth it. Not for me. I tore a hamstring, but that's my own damn fault. I know how to stretch. I just didn't do it. Uh, so
Well, it's not just a matter of. I mean, they get you in positions that you couldn't get into yourself, and manipulate your legs or arms or whatever in ways that it would be difficult to do yourself.
but
So,
if you knew the stretches though, if you watched like a YouTube video or you read an article, you could have your wife help you.
to an extent, yes,
That's free.
yeah,
It just costed you your nuts.
they're insured. However, if they fuck up,
So what happens if your wife fucking pulls something on you? Like, okay, be a man. Fucking hold
well, it
someone's.
depends on what she's working on. She blows out my knee, then I got to go deal with that. And
So what if they blow out your knee? Oh, congratulations, your knee's
then
still
they've got
blown.
insurance.
But your knee's still blown. That's my point. It's so it'd be like if you went outside and you shot some hoops and you blew out your knee, and you went and got your doctor versus they did it. It doesn't matter. Your knee's still blown. You still have health insurance. Just what do you got to lose?
My
Hey,
knee, besides my knee,
you were gonna blow it out anyway. It was a matter of time. I got that shit out of the way early. Have you not blown a knee yet?
no. I have issues with one knee from an old accident, but not blown out.
Okay. Hey, I got complimented on my jacket today. Just so you know. So no more
Can't
night.
believe you still wear that shit around.
I don't have much else to wear. It's this or the motorcycle jacket. uh, right. Okay. Yep. 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 Okay. So cool. So next week you plan on having this lady on to talk about your nuts.
Potentially, I'm
All
trying
right.
to work it out.
Let's do this shit. My ignorant ass. I'm out of it. I'm like out of it. So let's start doing the podcast when we talked about, and maybe her being on earlier will be more conducive to her as well.
We'll see. I don't know what time did we talk about. I mean, the time we started today.
So the time I would like to start is 9 o'clock my time. That's when I would like to start. Which
So 6 p.m.
yes,
where I'm at,
yes.
not 7 p.m. like you were texting me. It's like okay, fuck it, 7 p.m. Even though I said repeatedly that we started at 7 my time all the previous times.
Well, that's when we were starting. Was actually we were starting. Were we starting at 7 your
We were
time?
starting at 7 my time,
Always. It
and
was
then
which
you were
was
talking
8.
about 8 o'clock my time. Like no, we always start at 7.
No, I didn't say 8. I did say
You
7.
did.
I
Don't
said
make me fucking send you screenshots.
okay. I'll look it up right now. What I was saying was 7, thinking that you were mountain time. That's what I thought. I thought you were mountain time. I keep thinking, and next week I will think you're mountain time again because there's no reason your state is fucking Pacific. No, none. Y'all want to be cool. That's the only reason. Like, look it up. Look it up. Look it up real quick.
He said, so 7 your time, 10 mine.
Right. That's what I was thinking. I didn't say
Dude,
8.
didn't you just say 6?
Right. I know because that's where I was confused. So you're saying you wanted me to get on an hour earlier because you want to go to bed earlier, which is right.
No,
But
you want to be
I
on.
nowhere in the message did I say 8. That was never even a thought because we used to podcast at 8 my time, which was mountain time.
Look a couple down. Previously was 8 yours, 11 mine.
Where?
Right below the thumbs up when you said 7 your time, 10 mine.
What I said was because you said regular time, no confirmation. I said regular time, dude. Are we on for an hour earlier? So what I'm thinking is,
Yep. Hold on. Keep going.
dude, didn't you just say 6? What do you want to meet? I said 7 your time, 10 mine.
So I give a thumbs up. And
Right.
look at the next one. Look at the next one.
I said previously was 8 yours. So I thought it was 8.
Aha. Yeah. Now look at the next one.
No, it's always been 7. I have my alarm set for 6. Right. So at that time, I can't even see what time that message was sent, can I?
5:32.
How do you do that?
It's on sitting timestamp next to the message.
Oh, no, it's next to the one below that. It's 2032, right? So that's when I actually saw it, right? Or I don't fucking know. I know I took a nap. I had to take a nap.
Yeah.
Right?
And then what's the next message?
ETA
At what time?
at 9 o'clock my time.
So not 10 your time.
Yeah, dude. Okay, let's just say for the record, I
Let's just
want to.
say for the record,
I
Jake can't count.
I can't. One of it.
Jake, did you go to kindergarten? Didn't you learn how to tell time in kindergarten?
Come on, let's get it out.
No, I'm just
Let's
like,
get it out.
I
Let's
mean,
get it out. Get it out.
like
Everything.
barely know biology.
Barely. I could tell you the one topic you solidly talked about that I have no knowledge on was the whole thing with the accounts and the gold and the silver. Not I know nothing about that. You know nothing, but I like way less. Um, so I do want to talk about this. I'm going to pull up a map really quickly. Map of U.S. time zones. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm gonna look at it. Okay, so you got that pulled up there, Air
Nope.
Darian. All right. Oh, it's a fucking map on Amazon. All right, cool. So Mountain Time, where I previously was. So you have like the tip of Texas, New Mexico, and you have Arizona, but Arizona does not observe daylight saving time, right? Colorado, part of Kansas, part of Nebraska, all of Utah, all of Wyoming, part of South Dakota. For some reason, North Dakota. Look at that shit. Look at North Dakota. Can you actually see the color?
No, I don't
Color.
have the map up, so go on.
Oh, yeah. North Dakota's got like the bottom left-hand corner. So the rest of North Dakota is central, but that bottom, whatever. Maybe they do a lot of business in Montana, and that makes it easier. Montana, the entire state of Montana, which goes over a lot of Idaho, is mountain time. And then Idaho decides we're going to be something different. And so part of Idaho, the bottom part of Idaho is in Mountain Standard Time, Mountain Daylight Time. And then part of Oregon is even in Mountain Time. And then the tippity top part, the panhandle, is on board with Oregon, Washington, Nevada, and California in Pacific Time. That is what I cannot get around. Like you guys geographically, by longitude lines, I guess we should just fucking nip this in the bud. Just fucking longitude lines. Just boom. You're this. I don't know. We're not observing boundaries, or either we are observing state boundaries or we aren't. We just aren't. Like it just makes no sense. So, uh, plus we need to rename them Why do we call it Pacific? We call it Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern. We don't call it Atlantic and Pacific. We call it Eastern and Pacific. So, but yeah, I just keep fucking thinking you guys are mountain because of that. And I'm guessing where you live is somewhere. So on the map, as I'm looking at it, like, are you guys? If I drove perpendicular to the longitudinal line, I'm ending up in Washington, right? Washington State, whatever parallel you're on. I'm ending up in Washington State or Montana, right? I'm not on like the little teeny part where I'm gonna end up in Oregon, am I?
I know.
You know. All right. Well, that's why I keep getting confused because you guys should be Mountain Time, but you guys act like you're special for some reason, and it's not even your whole state. Like you guys are just. Is that okay? So, is where you are? Is that where the conservatives are? Or is that where the liberals are? Like, who's doing this?
Doing what?
Your state is in two different time zones, sir.
It's been that way since they did all the time zones,
I
dude.
know, but that is observed by the states. So I'm asking you, like, the way that it makes no sense. You look at some states like Nebraska and South Dakota. If you look at how the time zones are drawn, North Dakota doesn't make sense. South Dakota does in a way. Kansas doesn't make sense. Kansas has, dude. I wish you were looking at this map. Let me see if I can save this image. Fucking send it to you on Discord. Incoming. Did you get it?
Yep.
All right, check it out. So okay, you're like, okay, yeah, whatever. But like, some of this shit doesn't make any fucking sense. Like North Dakota is just abstract. That little part of Kansas, abstract. But fucking Idaho, like that is the like, what is wrong with you guys? So who lives up in that area? Is that where all the the
In the Panhandle,
yeah? Who lives in the Panhandle? What kind of people?
typically the people who want to get away from everyone else.
So libertarians,
Yeah, a few.
right? Is that where all the California expatriates go to?
They've been going to Boise, and a lot are going to Coeur d'Alene. Yeah.
Okay, so that's in the green area.
No, Coeur d'Alene's up in the blue area.
Oh, Coeur d'Alene. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Boise's in the green area.
Right. Okay. All right. That's just, and you know what? I'll forget in 2 weeks. But if as long as you know what's going on as far as time zones are concerned, then cool. I will be online at 9, expecting to talk about your balls next week with some lady.
We will see.
Is she a doctor or is she like a PA? What is she?
The nurse? I don't know.
Oh, she's a nurse. I thought we were getting the actual doctor.
Nope.
Okay.
The nurse.
Okay. Cool. 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 Okay. She hot.
She's cute.
She's cute. So she's
Yeah.
young. She's young.
Yeah, probably mid 20s.
Mm, okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. Yeah. 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 We'll get her. We'll book her for next week then. So I will cancel on Sean again. Hopefully, if we do this an hour earlier, she can get on. That would be great. Um. But yeah, is there anything you wanted to touch base with besides your nuts?
No, that's about it.
Yeah. Sorry we didn't get to the war in Ukraine. It'll be going on for a
Yeah,
minute.
I mean, it. They're doing their damnedest to convince the U.S. citizens to be on board with invading Ukraine. I mean, fuck, man. You've got like the leftists calling for us to like impose no-fly zones and stuff. What the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, all these people screaming freedom for Ukraine, but what have they been doing the past 2 years?
I don't know, but I know Zelensky's a Jew, so the nationalism problem that Putin's claiming just seems a little funny. just a little bit. Now there's a bunch of
Mm.
Nazis in there. We gotta get rid of them Nazis. Okay, but their dictator is a Jew, right? So yeah, that's about as funny as when people call Ben Shapiro a fascist. It's like, yeah, because he's an Orthodox Jew. That makes a lot of sense. But you know what I will say? I will say it's interesting because we've never been.
Hold on. Orthodox Jews could be fascists.
Can they be?
Fascism isn't
Well, can they be
a
not? Can,
particularly.
can, can they be Nazis? Can they?
I wouldn't think they could be Nazi specifically as far as tying to the German Nazi,
Mhm. And people have called
but
him. People have called
yeah,
Ben
then
Shapiro
that would
Nazi.
be inaccurate. But calling someone a fascist isn't
You're right. You're right.
defined by racial
You're right.
boundaries.
I've never met a Jewish fascist. I've never heard of one. Not even in biblical times. But this is what I see about this war. You
I don't
know,
know. The biblical Old Testament God's kind of a fascist. Follow my rules or else. All right, you fucked up. I'm smiting you.
I mean, when you created something, like if you believe in the Bible, if you created something, then you do as you please.
But if he created people with free will,
Hmm.
then they do as they please. If he wanted a planet of thrall, then he could have created mindless fucking.
But he didn't smite the Jews though. Like he really didn't. Like the people that he smited, smote, smitten. I don't know what the past tense of that is. They were very evil people.
Well, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, I mean, going along with the biblical myths and whatnot, what was the flood? The great flood that God
Hmm.
caused.
Sodom and Gomorrah. Like there's a lot of examples of
No,
what.
no, hold on. So, but the great flood, those were all you know descendants of Adam and Eve, if you believe the Bible's telling,
Hmm.
and he killed them all because they weren't following his commandments.
Hmm. Essentially, yes. But I mean, who are you to question God? And you don't even believe in God. So you're questioning something, either you don't believe in it or you don't follow it. So it doesn't really concern you. So it's like me sitting here as someone who's not an atheist or someone who's not a what is that other one? Agnostic and just can
Gnostic.
criticizing your lifestyle. I don't live it. Whether I go to hell or that's like me being that's like the opposite of libertarianism. You shouldn't give a fuck what I believe in and why it doesn't make sense. Just respect it and leave me the fuck alone. So, the day that you want to talk about theology, that's cool, but you need to be like in the theology life. So, you stay in there in your little part of the world. You fuck your goat the way you want to fuck it. I'll fuck my chicken the way I want to fuck it. But like for you to sit here and play semantics with like that, I find it funny. I don't. Oh, you really need to, dude. You need to live a religious life. You need like I don't do that. I don't criticize. There's a lot of fallacies in the way you think. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do it to you. But when people do that, that's what I think of. I'm like, oh, that's funny. You're criticizing someone that's trying to live a moral, virtuous life, and you're picking on one thing, and you don't understand it. Well, you don't understand it because you're not living that life. And if you live that life, and you could say you'd had a past life where you kind of lived that life, right? Your dad was, he was a theologist of some sort. So yeah, you are. But it's like it's almost like you're taking digs at someone for believing an imaginary history book is.
No, I'm saying that you said you don't know any fascist Jews, and if
I
God of the
God
Bible is a
God's
Jewish God,
he's a Jewish God, but he's not a Jew. So like the chosen people were the Jews, right? That's who the ones that were chose to be saved and who Jesus came for, and then Jesus ended up saving everybody, right? You had the Gentiles and the Jews, and he was there for the Jews, and the Jews didn't want him, so he ended up saving the Gentiles, basically, right? Died on the cross for our sins, and the Christians worship God. The Jews worship God, but as far as Jesus is concerned, there's a different meaning of the Christians and the Jews. But at least they agree on God, right? But yeah, no. What I was gonna say is like, so this war here, like you have your feelings about it, everybody else does. But what I find interesting is there's always been wartime propaganda, but we've never actually had like the social media, right? So we've never actually seen the wartime propaganda in real time. Like even with the Iraq and Afghanistan war, by the time these wars had dragged on, I think is the correct term. I don't know. Dragged on, drug on. Like there was already war fatigue. Nobody gave a shit anymore. Oh, two service members died. Nobody cried a tear. Nobody batted an eyelash. So I mean, we had the social media, but we didn't give a shit by then. And all the wars before that, we didn't have Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever. But now we can see both sides with propaganda, and it's interesting, I guess, from someone that's not really like committing too much. You see, oh, this nuclear power plant, this, or Nazism, that, or this, and back and forth. Oh, the ghost of Kiev, and it's just so much shit that is coming from both sides because propaganda is obviously a very important tool for the government, right? Both sides are propaganding their asses off. Oh, we're winning the war. Oh, we're winning the war. We killed 3,000. We killed 2,000. Whatever. That's what they're doing. So I'm really hesitant to like believe anything that's said right now until Russia backs off or they make a peace deal or whatever, and then the winner writes the history, and then you could debate about whether or not the history is true or not. But like right now, it's just a bunch of propaganda from both governments. That's what I see. No, you really
It's all propaganda.
you really think there's a lot of Nazis running? This. You really think there's a lot of shelling going on? You really think there's a lot of
That the
Russian?
Nazi stuff has been brought up long before Putin, and in particular the one unit.
So they were
And
brought up during
it's
Boris Yeltsin. Boris
I
Yeltsin
wouldn't
brought up Nazis.
call them Nazis per se, but if the shoe fits, um, but definitely they have racist and fascist ideologies, and the thing is, you're going to find that in every fucking country. Um,
But weren't wasn't there like racism and fascism in China right now? Are they Nazis? Wasn't there? I mean, sure, if we looked hard enough in history, wasn't there racism and
Dude,
fascism in?
that's what I'm saying. You can find them anywhere.
Mhm.
The thing is, in this situation, it is politically convenient to essentially use Ukraine as a proxy war against Russia without getting our hands dirty. They want to be a major power at the table again,
Who's
and
they? Russia?
Russia, and a lot of the public sentiment there is that they should go back to their glory that they had when they were the Soviet Union. So, it's, and again, when you've got the Ukrainian government bombing and shelling the Russian separatists, the ones who want to separate and rejoin Russia,
Hmm.
yeah, it's, I don't want to say it's asking for it because I still think the invasion is unjustified, but Putin going in and backing those separatist areas, I think was completely justified on his part.
So what he should have done is he just should have sent in a bunch of like mobile artillery units to shell them back, or maybe some.
I think I and I haven't looked too close because again, I'm don't follow social media much anymore, and I actively try to avoid the news, and I only get what alerts are coming up, and then if I dig deeper or whatever. But my understanding is that's kind of what happened in the beginning was he went over there and told them now knock it off, but they kept it up, and that was where everybody was saying he's trying to provoke them into a fight or whatever. And he's basically saying if you shell us or you bomb us, we're coming in. And my understanding is that the shelling continued of those territories, so Putin said fuck it and pushed on in. I don't think he's trying to occupy the entire country or take the entire country. I do think he's trying to control them and lock them down. I know he, like in one town, port town, they installed a mayor or something like that. They captured the city's leader and the mayor, and Um, have a new mayor who there. Um, that I don't agree with as well. But just yeah, I think Russia's doing it the wrong way. If they wanted to actually back those the separatist regions, they should have just gone in, held firm there, and told well all of the rest of Ukraine, fuck off. You know, we're supporting these territories who want to separate. The problem is, I think those two territories had higher oil or gas or whatever the fuck resources that the Western countries wanted to keep control over. So it comes down to fighting over limited resources, and the planet should just get hit by a comet.
Don't you have a daughter somewhere? Like, don't you love your kid?
Yeah,
Don't you
where's God now?
don't you have
Where's God now? We need that righteous rain to wash everything away. Wash the plague away.
don't you have like those grandkids somewhere? Don't you care about them? Don't you care about? Yeah, I mean, to some extent, I agree with you.
If we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die. So just get it over with.
Let's just fast forward until we're in the Matrix. All right. Yeah. Well, interesting take. Do you have a final word for us, or do you have anything else you want to put out there?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the usual: delete your social media, taxation is theft, and vasectomies aren't that bad.
Remains to be seen, but I wish you well. Um. Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for tuning into the Jake and Drake show. If you could leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video.
Delete your social media.
Yeah.
Don't do any of that.
Yeah. I mean, we're on YouTube and soon we'll be on Apple, so we kind of need some kind of social media presence if we want to keep all of our 20 subscribers or whatever. But that being said, I am Jake,
I'm Drake.
and this is the Jake and Drake show. We will see you next week.